everybody, this is Alyssa from Mango Arts and Crafts, and today we are here to go over a little bit of Messy Girl Crafts tagged me in the 10 Diamond Art Club paintings you would take with you on like a deserted island. So that's the challenge. I have to pick just Diamond Art Club. So I figured we'd start off with like the face shot like this, because you know you never get to see it. You see a little bit of my office. I didn't feel like turning on. That light over there is having issues, so it keeps doing this like weird thing where I turn on the light because this room is so big that I have two ceiling fan lights going. This is the main side, and that's like the back corner. That light, if I leave it on, then it starts flashing at me. Really, it just means that there's probably a wiring issue, and I need to do something about that. But I also think these fans are hideous looking. They're ugly. So at some point, I'm going to replace them, so I'm not worried about it, and I deal with it. Anywho, distraction. We're going to get into the diamond paintings and we're going to pick what we want. I have not actually looked through them ahead of time. So I'm going to like look through my Gems Flow with you guys and see if we can pick out 10 Diamond Art Club canvases that I would bring with me to a deserted island. We're going to do that, and then I'm going to actually pull out the canvases and we're going to take a look at them together and kind of like see them in person as like a mini unboxing. I'm not going to do anything with drills, and I'm not going to necessarily do anything with the specials or anything like that. We're just going to go over, this is the canvas and this is what it looks like, instead of just showing the canvas in a, instead of just showing like the picture of it or just the box. I figure I'll pull out the actual canvas and we can see what they look like. So we will do that. I figured I should probably show you guys the girls first because everyone wants to see the girls. So there is Box Cat right there. Momo, hey, Mochi. Oh, she's like, Mom, what? This is Mochi in her tiny little box. Is she not the cutest baby? You are the sweetest little booger butt. She's tiny, small cat. This box is the most ridiculously tiny box ever. And it's her box. It's even got like cat drool and cat sweat all over like the lip of the box, especially the side flap here, because that's her favorite spot to lay her head. She's so funny. I don't know if you guys can see the Susu. She's over, yep, there you go. You can see Susu. She's in her cage or her hammock right there. So there's the Susu. Hey, Sushi. Susu. Sushi. There she is. She's like, what, Mom? You disturbed me. I'm giving myself a bath. So she's chilling over there in her little, like her little hammock thing over there. She has like two, they both have multiple beds in this house and in this room, everywhere, multiple beds. So we're going to break into it and take a look at these. Well, we're going to take a look at my Gems Flow and then go for the canvases after that and see what we can figure out what I want to bring with me and go from there. All right, so here we are. We're going to take a look at these canvases and see which ones I would bring with me out of 10. So these are all of my Diamond Art Club canvases in here. They're probably going to be kits that are from my rainy day hoard. So I should probably, to narrow it down so we don't have as many to worry about, we're just going to look at these. And we're going to see which is, that not narrowing it down that much, because these are kits that I love. So which 10 kits, would I take with me? Oh gosh, this is so tough. We're going to take a quick scroll and kind of stroll through all the kits and see which ones yell at me, just from a quick glance of, okay, these are things. And I know, Messy Girl Crafts, kind of turned it into like a game type thing. As she was doing it, morphed into a game. I already kind of have an idea of like a couple of the kits. So we're just going to keep scrolling and see. It's going to be so hard because I love, it's so hard to pick because I love them all. This is the challenge. It's so hard. Anywho, let's see. So this is giving you guys a little bit of like an overview of what we have to pick from. Like half of this is Yuumei's, so that's I can't pick 10 Yuumeis. That would be a whole thing. We're gonna add this to my scavenger hunt diamond paintings. So we have let me write this down so I can kind of have an idea as we go. So we have deserted island, 10 DAC deserted island. So that way I can kind of write down some ideas as we go. So that way we can be, taking a closer look and picking what we want and writing them down as we stroll through here. So just going back up to the top. So from here, oh gosh, I should probably pick the ones that like scream at me to be picked first. I should pick those ones that are screaming first and then go from there. So I think I'm definitely going to do Cyber-Edo. The Cyber-Edo is a one that I was on like a no buy, low buy type thing when that one came out, and it was like an immediate must buy, no questions asked. It was purchased because that one is just like heaven to me. So we're going to pull out Cyber-Edo. So that's going to be one of them. There's just something about, I love these two tigers from Jojoes Art. Both of them are stunning. I think Dragon Spirit from Margaret Morales, I think, is one that I'm also going to do because she is probably one of my top ones. We're going to put Dragon Spirit down. And once we do this, I'll like put them in order from like 10 to 9, but we have to pick them first. I know, I'm trying to think. Okay. Fushimi Inari is an absolute must. So that's an absolute must. I'm trying to decide which one of the tigers to do if I want to do Dream. Dream is an older canvas, so it doesn't even have any special drills in it, but I can add like all the bling to this. I love adding bling to kits, as you guys know. And for Jojoes Art, I love his work, and his kits are just beautiful. So doing Pride was probably one of my, like, it was in like my top finishes that I've ever done, was doing his canvas Pride. That one was stunning. So I'm kind of between that one or if I want the black tigers, because this one, there's just something about these tigers here. So I'm like, do I want Dream or do I want Finding Myself? Ooh, I'm gonna have to like come back to it. We're gonna put Dream / Finding myself so I can kind of narrow it down, because I'm so torn. This is the challenge. This is like legit a hard task for me to do. So we've got basically 4 down. Okay, that was Fushimi Inari. Boom. Which one? Oh gosh, I'm definitely gonna do one of the Jenny Lee ones. I don't know if I'm gonna do Heaven's Gate or one of the other ones, but we're gonna put that down. And I'm trying to think of what other one. Okay, so that's like halfway there. We're halfway there, you guys. Let's see. Oh, Lo-Fi Cali Girl. I'm trying to think of which one of these just like screams at me to be done. One of the Ketners for sure. Ooh, this is so challenging, you guys. Muted Sound. That's one that I really want to do, but as soon as it's done, then it's done. So I have to keep pushing it off because it's so beautiful. So Muted Sound, that's going to be one. Oh, we're doing Neko Mart. That's going to be, that one has to go with me. So we're taking Neko Mart. And see, this is where I have to decide. Do I want Path of Light? Do I want Heaven's Gate? We're going to have to narrow it down. And then there's the third one as well. So how many am I at? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I can bring 3 more. This is so hard. Okay. This one is stunning. The Firefox one, that's a stunner. And I've watched it. Sea of Diamonds did it, and it was beautiful. I'm really looking forward to Rosea with the flamingos. And then Shelter, I think that's one of them from Geneva Bowers. I'm really looking forward to. But Sleeping Tiger, it's like, there's something about these tigers. This tiger is just so ridiculous. It's adorable. So I'm trying to think. But then I love Star Maker. And then Lantern Festival is the third one of those that I need to kind of like pick between. So we're going to put that there. Leviathan is a close contender. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So I can have 3 more. Leviathan is, I think, one that I might be doing as well. Let's see. Okay, so that's the end there. So we've got some room to pick from. I need to look at like my Mrs. Buttered ones. There we've got, which is Flower Shop. I think, like, I want to say Underwater Train is probably one of my favorite ones from her. We're going to put Leviathan down because that one was one that I had to hunt down because I saw a friend, a crafty friend, Raxify. Rax was working on it last year for for like basically Dragon event, or I believe, I can't remember when exactly he worked on it, but it was like early last year he worked on Leviathan. That's an older kit, and I just fell absolutely in love with it and had to have it. Okay, where is Sakura? did I not put it in here? Where's my Sakura Festival? Ah, there it is. Sakura Festival is an absolute must. Because I have this close, like I have this absolute, like I'll go over the reasonings of all of these as I pull them out and see. So that we can pick one more. And I'm like, ooh, do I want Shelter? Or do I want, ooh, like this is tough. This is so tough. I do love Manny is absolutely beautiful. But then I'm like, so tough. You guys, how do I pick? How do I pick? Oh my word. And then of course we have all of the ducks and the cats. And I'm like, which one do I want? If I had duck bath would be an absolute must. But I've got kitchen ducks, I've got lovebirds, and I've got the other duck one. Let's see. This is so hard to do. I'm trying to think. Okay, maybe Fisher Gal. As much as I want to do one of my Liubkas, these Liubka ones, as much as I want to do one of those, I'm trying to think which one. Or maybe I do Artist Room because, you know, do I want a Geneva or do I want a Mrs. B? What do I have? Dragon Spirit, Fushimi, Inari, Finding Myself, or one of those two, Muted Sound, Neko, Mart, Leviathan, Sakura Festival. I think I'm going to go with Away From It All. I think that's going to be the last one that I bring. So we're going to take it. But this is like really challenging because I was so close to picking like Artist Room or Art Shop. But I think I'm going to do, or Artsy Girl, I think I'm going to do Away From It All instead. All right, so now we have to decide between, we're going to pick, let's see, I need these ones, which really is Heaven's Gate, Path of Light, or these three. I'm trying to think of which one of these three I want to bring. So we have to narrow it down. Which one of these three do we want? Do we want Heaven's Gate? I'm really leaning towards this because I love this color palette. So I'm thinking Heaven's Gate might be what I do, but I love the mountains in Path of Light. Like the mountains in the background, I love those. And then the lanterns in the foreground. Or do I want the Lantern Festival? Because, gosh, that just yells like, okay. Which one of these three do I want out of the three? Which ones do I want? I do really, really love this one. Well, I love all three of them. I want more Jenny Lee's. I want all the Jenny Lee's. But I'm struggling because I'm like, okay, which one of these three? I'm leaning towards, it's like, this is like my color palette. I'm totally love this color palette here. I may end up picking Heaven's Gate, but I want to take like all three of them. I think we're going to go with Heaven's Gate. We'll do that one. That was a really tough decision. And now we have to decide between Dream and Finding Myself. So I think, just looking at it like that, I think we're going to go with Dream. All right. So we've picked out our 10 canvases. Now I need to dig them out of my closet. And I think getting like Sakura Festival might be a pain in the butt because I think it's in, and my Heaven's Gate might be a pain in the butt because those ones are deep in there. But we're going to go ahead and dig these out so we can take an actual look at the canvases and go from there. But we're going to pull them out. All right, we are, I left my glasses over by Sushi. Let me grab my glasses so I can see what I'm doing. So we are on to the actual canvases. I think this is my first time opening this box. I don't think I've opened this box before. So this is what's called Away From It All. We're going to open it up and take a look-see and see what we got. Yes, this is going to be one of, I actually, like, surprisingly enough, some of the majority of the ones that I picked actually fall into, like, my older stash, which really not even that old since I haven't been diamond painting for that long, like 2.5 years. But we're going to take this out. So this is going to be the old style. I think it still has a toolkit and everything in here. Yeah. So we're going to take it out and see. So this is number 10. Here's our old school toolkit that still has like the cover minder and washi that I don't even use. So this is going to be Away From It All by Ivy Dolamore. I think I only have like, well, actually I think I technically have 3 Ivy Dolamores. But that's it. This is one of the 3. So we're going to take a look at Away From It All. I'm really, I've seen this one done and I have plans. You guys know I have plans to bling it up. But we're going to go over what the canvas looks like. Oh, that's really pretty. Look at those colors. It's like you would think it looks like it would be really dark, but that's going to be a lot of beautiful blue. blues, and just imagine all of this color here, all shiny and pretty, with all the special drills. So here it is. Oh my goodness, so cute. Okay, so this is the canvas Away From It All by Ivy Dolamore. Look at those drill colors. It's actually really stunning colors. And it's enough colors that it comes on like 2 sticker sheets. It is a square drill canvas, 55.8 by 74 centimeters, and it has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 8Bs. It's actually not bad. So this kit right here is kit number 10 that I would bring with me on that deserted island as far as diamond paintings, and I'm not worried about how fast it'll take me to kind of like get through these. Like Messy Girl Crafts was like, oh yeah, the sooner you finish them, the sooner you're done. Well, this won't take me that long, because if I'm doing nothing but diamond paint all day, like I would get this done in just a few days, just a couple days tops. Because working on it, like I can finish a canvas this size in a week. So, and that's, you know, working full time and then doing more diamond painting on the weekends. So if I'm doing nothing but diamond paint all day, like I will finish these 10 kits in no time. But anyways, Away From It All. So I picked this one because I feel like this is very much kind of represents me in a way, because I am an artist myself. I do Chinese brush painting, which is a little bit different than the typical painting that you see. Like this is more of a traditional like oil paint. That's how you do an oil painting palette, which my mom does do work with oils. But it just really speaks to me of like being an artist, and I love the fact that it's like everything is dark around her, and then as you get into the top part of the canvas, you see like the paint is the only thing that's really in color. So basically it's like as you're painting, it really brings the world out. That's what this one kind of yells at me, is you're basically adding color to the world, and it's just kind of really tells me like that, you know, art is something that really adds that bling and kind of showcases, you know, it just really brings out the color of the world around you when you are painting and you're doing art. So that's kind of why I picked this one. So now we're gonna go on to the next one. Kit number 8 that I decided to pick is going to be Neko Mart. And this is a Jeremiah Ketner. It is a round drill canvas, which is kind of nice, 55.6 by 63.8. So we're gonna pull this one out and take a look. I have actually opened this one. Have I opened the canvas itself? Maybe? No, I have not opened the canvas. I opened the box to pull out the trading card, or the treasure quest card, and then remove the toolkit because they annoy me. So we're gonna look at this one. So it's a little bit smaller. It's rounds, which is kind of nice. And yeah, because I already pulled the other stuff out. Oh, that is like a lovely tiny little size. Sorry you guys get my shoulder in because the canvas wants to roll all over the place. The drills are really pretty. It's a really pretty color palette. So this is Neko Mart. So Neko Mart really like brings me back to living in Japan. So Neko Mart, the whole point, you know, you've got your Mart here. It's a take off of Family Mart. So there's a couple convenience stores that are like literally everywhere in Japan. 7-Eleven is one, Lawson's is another, and then Family Mart is the third. And they're not what you would think of from a 7-Eleven in the States. They are like the ultimate experience, and you get some of the best food ever at like 7-Eleven, Family Mart, Lawson's, all of those. But there's so much good food at those places. So this really reminds me of that, because that's why you have the Neko Mart, which really takes me back to like the convenience stores. Of course, you've got the cute cats, which makes it even better. And then you also have the vending machine. So if you've ever been to Japan, you could be literally driving in the middle of nowhere with fields all around you and farms all around you. And in the middle of nowhere, you will see a vending machine, like in the middle of a field. And you're like, what in the world? Like, there literally are vending machines everywhere in Japan. So this kind of, and you can buy anything in a vending machine too. It's fascinating. So that kind of really takes me back to living in Japan and how much I loved my time there, with, you know, all of our little convenience stores and our vending machines that you get. So that's why I picked this one, and this is number 9 for what I would pick with me on the island. So nice, good, compact size. Number 8 is another one that I have yet to open. So we're going to open this one up. So this is Margaret Morales. This is, I think, one of the original Margaret Morales's releases from Black Friday in, what, 2020? 2023, was that the first, or not Black Friday, whatever time frame they released the first couple Margaret Moraleses. I think it was Black Friday, Cyber Monday time of 2023, which is my first time. There's a toolkit. So we're gonna take a look-see. So the Margaret Morales that I picked is Dragon Spirit by Margaret Morales. I think this one's my favorite one of the ones. I love Mizushira as well, and of course Onihime. Those three are probably my top favorite Margaret Moraleses. I love them. But this one in particular I think is my favorite out of all of them. So this is going to be kit number 8 that I would take with me. Because it's like, again, when you're looking at this, here is our sticker sheet. This one actually has just one sticker sheet. So this is a round drill canvas. It's a 55.8 by 81 centimeter canvas. Beautiful, beautiful color palette. Look at those soft blues and pastels, and then there's some metallics in there. So she's stunning. So this one right here, again, it's like, you guys, if you've been around for a little bit, you know I love my Asian art, and I love Asian dragons. I am not a fan of like the Western style dragon, the traditional Western dragon that you see, but I totally love Asian dragons. So this one, like the color palette on this one just yells at me and screams my name with these blues and teals and mint aqua type tones. And then as we take a look at the lower portion of it, you can see all the way down, there's her traditional robes. And I love the metallics that we're going to have right in here as like scales on her. So this is Dragon Spirit, which just really, it's such a beautiful, beautiful image, and the color palette for it is stunning. That was really why I picked this one. It doesn't have like the huge meaning that some of the other ones had. It's such a stunning image, and it's, you know, the Asian art, which I absolutely love. So that's kit number 8 that I would bring with me. On to number 7. So number 7 is going to be Dream by Jojoes Art. So this one right here is actually a square drill canvas, which is a nice little break. Another one that I have never opened before, so we're going to take the toolkit out. This toolkit will have tweezers in it. I'll set that off to the side. So this is Dream by Jojoes Art. It is a square drill canvas, 52 by 63, so a lovely size. Point for this one. It's not very big. This is kind of like the size I prefer. If I'm going to work on a square, I prefer it to be this size rather than larger. That's just my personal preference. I prefer smaller canvases to larger canvases. There's been mini canvas that I've loved that I have not purchased because it wasn't an absolute, like, I will die without this canvas, which none of them are really at that point. But there's been many that I have not purchased because they've been massive squares, but they weren't like artists that I really love. Where I'm like, if that was rounds, I would have bought it in a heartbeat. So this is Dream from Jojoes Art. You can see the beautiful blues with some golds and yellows in there as well. Here, it's like fewer colors, but not bad. There's no specials in this because it's an older canvas. It's still absolutely stunning. And this is one of those things that when you look at it, it's got a little bit more confetti. I'm going to add all sorts of bling to this. So the reason why I picked Dream as kit number, 7? Yes, 7. I picked this one because it's like, I love the tigers. My brother's name actually growing up, his nickname growing up was Tiger. I was like Lissy or Lizard, and my brother was Tiger. Now I call him Boyo. That's like my nickname for my brother now is Boyo, and it has been for probably the last like 10-15 years. I've called him Boyo. At least that long, maybe longer. But growing up, he was always Tiger. So this one kind of really makes me think of, you know, that older brother, because it's kind of got that Tiger has that like wise, you know, sitting there all majestic kind of a feel to him. But that's the main reason that I picked this one. It just really reminds me of my brother with the Tiger. I had a work phone call, so I had to pause for a work phone call. So if you hear ringing in the background, that's what that was. So anyways, that was why I kind of picked this one, because it really reminds me of my brother with that like wizened, you know, kind of this like, like the Tiger looks like he's sitting there and contemplating his environment around him. And just sitting there majestically and quietly. So it just kind of reminds me of my older brother. So that's why I picked Dream. And it's just something about this image has just like called to me since I first saw it. So that was one that I ended up snagging. This is why I like the new way that they do their sticker sheets, because you don't have to worry about stuff like that happening. Number 6 in my load. This one I ended up snagging off of a D-stash. This, I think, is my first time opening it. So it does not have a toolkit in it, which I really don't care about the toolkit because I got it off of a D-stash. This is going to be Leviathan by Heather R. Hitchman. It's a square gel canvas, 56 by 76. This is an older one. Like I said, it had already, didn't even know it existed until a friend of mine was working on it like a year and a half, almost 2 years ago now. I saw him working on it and I was like, oh my gosh, what kit is that? I have to have it. And then I think Katie, Diamonds and Washi, Katie worked on it like a little bit after that for like when she was working on her Year of the Dragon kits last year. So she worked on this one then as well. So this is, again, you guys, I'm seeing a trend already with the color palette that I've picked, because I mean, look at how beautiful the blues are in this canvas. So this is the Leviathan. Stunning, stunning image. It is, again, it's not a super old one, but it was one that had been discontinued. So this is a beautiful, beautiful Asian dragon, which I love my Asian dragons. As I've mentioned already, I love the Asian dragons, but look at how beautiful that is. It's going to be a stunning one to work up in the water down here, like the cloudy, it's kind of like water but clouds, which is a common thing for any kind of like brush painted dragons, to feel like you've got water. The dragon feels like it's coming out of the clouds and the water and the water and the clouds. You can't really distinguish between the two. So that's what this one is. So it's, again, I love my Asian dragons. And the color palette was just so stunning. And this is one that I did have to hunt down. This is probably the one that I searched for the longest out of the hand. I haven't looked for a lot of kits, but this is the one that I've probably spent the most amount of time hunting down, and I ended up snagging it on a D-stash, like I said, and I'm super, super excited to eventually get to this one because it's so beautiful. But that's kit number 6. Number 5, this is one, we're into the top 5 now, you guys. Number 5 is like the first Yuumei that appears out of all of the lot. I had to really restrain myself and not pick like literally all the Yuumeis. I have actually opened this one before. I was like looking at the kits and pulling toolkits out went back in the day, and then I was like, okay, wait, I can't do this. This is too much. So this canvas is going to be Sakura Festival. And this is a Yuumei Art canvas. It's one that's going to take me a hot minute because of all of the confetti you guys could see up at the top. Like the pinks are all confetti, but I plan on adding like lots of, making sure it has lots of ABs and lots of dust drills in this because it's going to be so stunning. And then potentially some crystals around there. But this is Sakura Festival by Yuumei Art. It is a square drill canvas, 95 by 65. It's such a stunning, stunning image. I'm in love with it. And this color spread is just incredible. So as we look at this one really, again, takes me back to living in Japan, which is probably one of like the favorite one of my favorite periods of my life was actually my time living in Japan. I loved it. It was incredible. Being there, seeing the cherry blossoms, streaming. I didn't get to see more of this because this kind of style where, you know, the small town, kind of in like more a rural area. This reminds me more of like a cherry blossom festival in like the older parts of Kyoto, more so than anything, versus where I was down in Okinawa, which is more tropical island. So I was seeing a lot of like the cherry blossoms around the castle ruins, throughout on the islands. That's where we would see a lot of the cherry blossoms, and do the different festivals and everything else. So this is a Sakura festival, which it's such an awesome time of the year. And what's so cool is Japan has such different climate. So the Sakura festival, the cherry blossom season, so each city will have its own, like each larger city will have its own cherry blossom festival or a Sakura festival. And if you want to, like the cherry blossom season, they like literally in the spring, you have like this view. It's an officially tracked thing that you can easily find if you go to Japan anytime in the spring. Usually the cherry blossoms start down in Okinawa, which is like one of the largest, one of the larger islands south of mainland Japan. It's down into like, it's part of what we call the Ryukyu Islands, which used to be the Ryukyu Kingdom. But it's so fascinating because it's like your cherry blossom season viewing season can start anywhere from like late January into maybe early February down in Okinawa, and then like it'll work its way up the islands and go up through like April, potentially even into May, up towards Hokkaido. So you have like this couple months, this like month. It's not just a short period. Like if you've ever seen the cherry blossoms in Washington, D.C., it's usually like a quick period. It's there for like a week or two, and then the blossoms start fading. But in Japan, you literally have months where you can chase the cherry blossoms as you travel among the islands. And it's amazing. It's so beautiful. So this one really reminds me of that time in the cherry blossoms. I love cherry blossoms. And it just really brings me back again to like a pivotal point in my life, which was when I lived in Japan, which actually I have, you know, if you've ever seen me, you can see I have cherry blossom tattoo on my shoulder. That's how much I love the cherry blossoms in that period. So that one is number 5, kit number 5. Number 4, which guess what? Surprise, surprise, is another Yuumei. Go figure. Not surprising. I think I've got maybe just one more Yuumei. I tried to restrict myself so I didn't have all the Yuumeis, but this is another Yuumei. This one is Muted Sound. This is gonna be canvas number 4. And this is one that, I don't know, it just really, really speaks to me as well, as they all do. That's why they're like the top 10 canvases I would take with me on a deserted island. So this is Muted Sound by Yuumei Art. It is a round gel canvas, 50.7 by 65.8. And it comes with 1, 2, 3, 4 ABs or Aurora Borealis drills. There's our color palette for it. It's very colorful. It's a surprisingly colorful canvas. So this right here is Muted Sound. So you've got the guy sitting here with headphones on, listening to music, and I was really, really torn between picking Muted Sound or Transparent, which is the one with the girl with the umbrella. I was really torn between the two, but I ended up picking this one instead. So I absolutely love everything about Yuumei's art. It very much has like a brush painting feel to it, and you can tell that she was trained in brush painting, Chinese brush painting. So this really kind of, like all of the art kind of has that feel to it for me, but yet in her own style. She kind of combines the different art styles together. I love the color palette on this. I love the fact that, like, you know, you've got this person where they're listening to music, and then like the background could be like, it's just kind of like this vague background around them, where it's like, you know, you're in your own little world when you listen to music, but then also music is such an integral part of my life. I have never not had a song running through my head at some point in time. Like, you can ask me, hey, what's going through your head right now? And I'll tell you what song it is. Like, I swear, it's like, I feel like every time I walk into a room, I have the Imperial March running through my head whenever I walk into, like, a room or a space. It's like, dun, 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 dun. So I always have, like, the Imperial March in my head. So she just fell off of you're on, like, literally, oh, she was so funny. She was jumping up. She's jumping. This cat. I put my work phone on one of the shelves of the ladder that hangs on the door, and so she's like, I can't jump onto the bottom step because she sees the phone sitting there, and she's like, what is this? So she's trying to jump up, and she failed to make it, and she was like dangling from the bottom step, which if she just like relaxed her back legs, she could literally stand and put her front paws on the top of the step while she's touching the bottom. It was so funny. So she had like 3 failed jumps before she finally jumped up. Anyways, so I always have music in my head, like Imperial March. I'll have like the theme song from Pink Panther, and then any other random song. There's always something going through my head, and I have like I actually have a running thing where like a running like note that I have saved in my my Google Notes or whatever you want, or whatever the whatever my note app is that I have on my phone. But I have like the different stages of my life where I have a specific song that I typically, whenever I hear it, it brings me back to a certain time period of my life and a certain stage. So that's something that, you know, music is such an integral part for me. I love music. And it's like, it's so ingrained in like who I am to have music. So this just really kind of like brings it in. It's like, you know, you can listen to music and dive into your own world, and everything around you just kind of falls away. If you have a bad day, listen to some music. You have a great day, what do you want to do? You want to put on a great song and listen to some music. It's like there's literally anything, like music for any emotion you could possibly have. You can find a song to listen to that kind of brings it back to you. So that's what muted sound is. It's that integral aspect of everything. And that is canvas number 4. Pick number 4. On to kit number 3, which is another one that I have never opened before. So let's open this up and we will see. I want to say this one might have been released maybe during the anniversary sale in 2023, I want to say. I think that might be when this one was released. But we're gonna take a look and see. I wish the canvases would like have something on them saying when they were released. And I have plastic on me. Ugh. Staticky plastic at that. So this is gonna be Cyber-Edo by Roberto Nieto. And it is, let's take the toolkit out. If I could get the toolkit out. There we go. Toolkit. So this is a round trail canvas. It is a 50.7 by 70.6 stunning kit. I love the 50s. Those are such a great little like compact size, and they fit on my easel so well. I think this is basically like the size of my easel is like a 50 by 70. So everything fits perfectly on my easel. So this one right here is so cool. This is one that I saw and I was like, this is 1000% an absolute must-have canvas. I mean, look at this color palette. Stunning. I love the contrast of the purples and the oranges in there. And there's some great specials on this. So this one has 2 fairy dust, and then it also has 2 Aurora Borealis drills in here. So I'm going to add more to it. I kind of want to do, instead of like this background, instead of it being an AB, I might do a metallic drill all around there. I think that would look fantastic. But this is Cyber-Edo, which it just, again, it's very much, these are the traditional cranes that you would see in brush painting, both Japanese sumi-e and Chinese brush painting. So you've got the traditional like cranes flying along, and then you've got like your lotus flower down in here with some stylized water, and then you've got Mount Fuji, and then of course, you know, like sunrise over Mount Fuji, and then the background up here with the cherry blossoms on it. You guys know I've already talked about the cherry blossoms just a little bit ago, but you've got the cherry blossoms in the background for it. So one of the things that I actually have gotten to do, I actually did hike up Mount Fuji. I didn't get to do like sunrise on Mount Fuji because we had a very short period of time. We had to reschedule our trip because the original trip got negated by a tropical storm, or like a tropical cyclone. So, which is basically a hurricane, but in the Pacific. So that kind of negated like the trip that we were going to do, where we could actually do sunrise on Mount Fuji, where as you hike up partway, and then you stay the night partway up the mountain, and then you get up for sunrise, and you get really early, so that way you get up towards above the clouds, so that way you see, because the clouds are kind of like at like this level, so you'll see the clouds like breaking out. And then, you know, you've got this view where you're looking out, sunrise up on the top of Mount Fuji with the clouds all around. It's so fascinating. I did not get to do that experience, but I did get to go through like just the hike where you hike and you break that cloud cover and you get above the clouds, and then there's the rest of Mount Fuji that you're hiking up. So this kind of really brings me back to that experience of hiking Mount Fuji, which was such an incredible experience. And it was such an odd thing, because some people get like altitude sickness because it's so high, and you're hiking up it fairly quickly. Like we went up and then back down in one day. It was, you know, a very long day, but we did the up and then down in one day. It was also, I hiked Mount Fuji and then like a week later left for my training for my Afghanistan deployment. So it was kind of like a very meaningful experience for me. It was kind of like that last breath of like freedom and air and like seeing everything before I spent, you know, 9 months in Afghanistan, which was, you know, with all of its challenges and everything that I experienced while I was there. So this really brings me back to that experience, which is an amazing experience. And it's like the higher that we got as we climbed, like the girls that I was climbing with, they were like feeling the altitude, and they were getting like struggling, and it was getting harder and harder for them to hike. But for me, it was like the higher up I went, the more energy I had and the easier it was for me, which is kind of like a very odd experience. I think it was more of like the altitude euphoria, but I had no issues with the altitude or anything. But that's what this one is, and that's part of why this one makes the top 3, just because it was such an incredible experience hiking Mount Fuji, and this kind of brings me back to that, but then also combines a lot of like what I feel like makes me, which is, you know, a lot of those elements that you see in here. So that is my top 3. Number 3 is a Cyber-Edo. On to number 2. So this is one that I actually had already taken out of the box, but this is going to be Heaven's Gate by Jenny Lee, which is, it is such a stunning kit. It's so hard for me to pick which one of my Jenny Lee kits I like better, because they're all absolutely incredible. And I have a crafty friend who's actually working on this kit right now. So it's been amazing watching it unfold as she's working on it. I've been like, oh my goodness, it's beautiful and stunning. And I will make my way through all of this confetti for how beautiful and stunning this canvas is. So we're going to go ahead and take a look at Heaven's Gate, which is going to be a, where is my, I pulled the small sticker out, so that way it's in a different folder. But here are the drills, and that color palette is so dreamy. Again, you guys can see a trend with the color palette. I love these greens and mints and teals, aquas, all of that. So this is Heaven's Gate by Jenny Lee. It is a square drill canvas, 60 by 87, and it has 2 fairy dust drills and then 2 Aurora Borealis or AB drills. So this one is beautiful, absolutely beautiful. So you're in a forest, you're in the greenery, in the forest, and you're hiking, and you're going through you've got your torii gate there, you've got your little altars or shrines along the side as you're going up this staircase to the main temple that you see right back there. And this right here is just, it very much is like a Japanese style scene. It's something that you would see in Japan, where like this, but then there's also, you would see things and experiences like this in, similar to this with like slightly different shaped gateways and archways in other countries as well. But this one right here like definitely screams Japan, but it's more than just that. It's more than just that Japanese feel. And this also really, like, probably another one of the favorite trips that I've done was Kyoto and going to the Fushimi Inari Shrine. And everybody thinks of Fushimi Inari Shrine in Kyoto and thinks it's just the bright, vibrant orange torii gates that you see. But in actuality, parts of it are like that, and parts of it are literally look exactly like this as you're walking up the mountain, going up the hill, going through all of these gates with the temple, little random temples here and there with all the shrines along the way, and the lanterns, shrines and lanterns is kind of one of those things where you don't necessarily know which is which. I love the color palette of this. It's also, there's some, like, for me to be out in nature is such an incredible experience. I love being out in nature. I love being like I love, one, being by the water. That's like my ultimate happy place. But if I don't have the water, then being in the woods and in the forest like this is something else that I absolutely like thrive on, is being in the woods, being in the forest with the trees all around you. So this just really brings it back. Like, as a kid growing up, I would pretty much spend the majority of my time outside. If I wasn't reading a book, I was typically going to be outside. I grew up on a farm. We had a bunch of woods in the backyard, and I turned some of these, we had this big massive tree that had been fallen down, a massive tree that was fallen down or cut down in the back in the woods. And that one, it was like, I always called that Jumanji growing up, because it reminded me kind of like that wild forest feel, and we would climb all over the trees. And then there was we had like this small little set of pine trees in I turned the inside of the pine trees into like a fort, and I called that the kingdom. So it was basically, that was like a defining part of my life, has been being out in the woods, being out in nature like this. And it's just finding that chance to get away. You can be like right next to a bustling city, and you go into a patch of trees, and it just takes all of that sound, all of that noise pollution, all of the air pollution, everything out. And it's such like a spiritual experience, really, when you're in the woods like this. So this was my second my top two. So kit number 2, my top second one. And the reason why I'm going like this and picking all kits that I'm absolutely in love with is probably like my top 10 kits of all time from the Diamond Art Club side is because if I'm gonna be stuck on a deserted island, I'm either gonna be sitting there staring at the water, or working on something that I absolutely love. Like if I know that I'm gonna get off the island, it's one thing, but if you have no idea if you're gonna get off or not, you want to like do things that you absolutely love and like really bring back a lot of like memories and everything else. All right, my number 1 kit, so my top 1. This right here is Fushimi Inari, which when I unboxed this is probably like the kit of all kits as far as when I was doing Black Friday last year with all of those Yuumeis that were released on Black Friday. This one was like the one that I was like, if I were to pick one kit from Black Friday to purchase, it would have been this one right here. So this right here, we're going to take a look at it and see. It's amazing. This is Fushimi Inari. It is a round stroll canvas. Yuumei Art is the artist. Here's the color palette. Lots of oranges and reds. And it is round drills 55.6 by 83.7. So this, you've got our woman walking along in her kimono, and then you've got a little I think to me it reminds me of a cat, but it could be a cat, could be like a fox, but the tail is more cat. That's not a foxtail. And then you've got the torii gates. And this is Fushimi Inari Shrine, which is in Kyoto, which is, like I mentioned, it's more than just, this view as you're walking up on the mountain. It's more than just the torii gates that you're going through, the big orange torii gates. There's a section that's the torii gates like this, but a lot of it's so much more than that. If you were to pick like one thing to do in the greater Kyoto area, because this is not directly in Kyoto, it's a little outskirts from Kyoto. I think we took a train ride to get there. But if you had to pick one thing to see in that area, you can't leave without going to the Fushimi Inari Shrine and climbing up and hiking up to the top of it there and going through this like classic picturesque viewpoint. This kit, it's just like there's so much meaning to it, and it's very much an otherworldly experience when you're doing that. It's like there's certain things that you do that are like such an amazing experience, and this is one of them. It was going up the Fushimi Inari Shrine, walking up there. It was just incredible. Those torii gates were beautiful. I love the fact that Mochi doesn't like that I blocked her box. That you have like the galaxy up in the top of this. Yuumei is very good at putting in like the stars and the galaxy and Milky Way, all of that into the images. And that's something that like regardless of where you are in the world, like you can find here, I'll unbury your box, Momo. She's happy, she's climbing in her box. So regardless of where you are in the world, you can see, like, if you get far enough, and if you're in the right viewing time of the year, but you can see the Milky Way as long as, you have a dark enough sky. You don't have all that light pollution. You can see that amazing, colorful galaxy rising above you, and especially if you get, like, the galactic core. So anyways, this one is probably one of my absolute favorite ones. And I'm really looking forward to working on this one. I do plan on adding like, so these kits, these like top 10 kits, I'm going to be adding some specials to them. And I'm going to make the specials that I add, very much plan them out. I'm not just going to do like a willy-nilly ad like I do for a lot of my kits. It will be a very well thought out and well planned out addition that I'll be doing for it. So I have completed picking out my top 10. So you can see here, these are the 10 Diamond Art Club canvases that I would take with me on a deserted island. And you can see here, we've got Away From It All, Cyber-Edo, Dragon Spirit, Dream, Fushimi Inari, Heaven's Gate, Muted Sound, Neko Mart, Sakura Festival, and the Leviathan. So those are the 10 canvases that I would take with me. They're just in alphabetical order here. And as you can see, like, I find these to be absolutely beautiful and like a great example of the collection of what I have. But that's my 10 Diamond Art clubs I would take with me. Yes, that was exciting. So I'm going to go ahead and tag. Let me see. Who do I want to tag? I'm going to tag Rosie. We're going to tag her. I'm going to tag C. We're going to tag C, the Sea of Diamonds. And we're also going to tag, let's see. We're going to tag Nicole. Shire Shenanigans. We're going to tag those 3 and see what they do and come up with for this. And if you want to participate, you don't have to be tagged to do this. Feel free to do it. But anyways, that is my 10 Deserted Island Diamond Art Club canvases.